Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now this is Off Dock Services. We are back like we never left. And this is because for a while we have been silent, but it seems we'll be looking for more information regarding this shipping and this logistics supply and the port operations so that we can give you value addition in the kind of information that we share with you on day-to-day basis. But my first question to you guys is very critical. What is the best strategy? Do we build capacity at the ports? Like, for instance, buy new cranes, build more berths, build another port, a new port, for instance, the port of LAMU? Or alternatively, do we focus our strategies on building the corridors that serve the port of Mombasa? That's for you to ponder and let me know in the comment section of what you think. Tomorrow, the port of LAMU will be receiving 3 new ship-to-shop cranes. These are state-of-the-art equipments that do what we call tandem lift. They carry 2 containers at a time. That means the productivity at the LAMU port will definitely go up in terms of efficiency. But something is also very significant, and this information I know most of you people don't have. The vessel carrying the 3 cranes for the LAMU port has got also 2 other cranes of the same capacity, but headed to Port Sudan. Port Sudan is the neighbor of the port of LAMU. Now, you see what goes on. Like I've said many times in this YouTube channel, that the attractiveness of any port in the world is not determined by the efficiency of the port. It's not determined by the equipment, the state-of-the-art equipment that we buy. The attractiveness of the port all over the world is determined by the corridors that serves the port. The fluidity of the corridor. The cost per ton, moving per ton of cargo along the corridor will determine the attractiveness of that port. Mombasa Port and Lamu Port, they are building capacity in terms of new berths, in terms of new STSs. But as we look across the border, we see the port of Dar es Salaam. They're not doing what the port of Mombasa and Lamu are doing. They're literally and strategically building the corridor that serves the port of Dar es Salaam. So as we strategize by building capacity at the port of Mombasa, we intend to achieve only one thing: key performance indicators. The crane moves per hour. You want to achieve the vessel turnaround time. You want to achieve the total port time. You want to achieve the truck turnaround time. All these are key performance indicators of every port. And now that all the ports of the world are building capacity in terms of new equipment, state-of-the-art equipments, new softwares that are going to move containers through the documentation system in the fastest way possible, that will give us efficiency. But all the ports are doing the same thing. Dar es Salaam is doing something different. They have now rolled out the first electric train from Dar es Salaam to Morogoro. And what you don't know, and I've been trying to raise alarm in this YouTube channel for many, many times. From the first YouTube channel, I've been raising alarm that the port of Dar es Salaam and the government of the Republic of Tanzania, the United Republic of Tanzania, are now laying a pipeline that is going to connect the port of Dar es Salaam all the way to Uganda. And I asked even in my previous video, where does it leave the pipeline that serves the Uganda government, and all the liquefied petroleum product that passes through the port of Mombasa to Uganda, which constitutes more than 30% of the total volumes of cargo, both in liquid and container and general cargo passing through the port of Mombasa. Now, once the pipeline is complete, and it should be complete by 2025, the electric train that moves from Dar es Salaam to Morogoro is already complete. Test runs have been done, and they have confirmed that train can move at 170 miles per hour, compared to our old second-hand diesel-propelled SGR that moves at 70 kilometers per hour from the port of Mombasa to the inland container depot in Nairobi and inland container depot in Naivasha and the Nairobi freight terminal in Nairobi. Where does that put Port of Mombasa? And this is very important, gentlemen. I don't know who advises the strategic managers in these organizations. I don't know who advises the Kenya government on strategic moves, strategic policies that can ensure that we don't lose out on the market share that we've been controlling since independence. The electric train from Dar es Salaam will take over the entire East and Central Africa region in moving their cargo. And if the previous said that Mombasa is shorter distance to the Great Lakes and Dar es Salaam is far longer distance, then the Dar es Salaam Standard Gauge Railway electric train will not only have that distance by the speed that is going to move at 170 kilometers per hour, but it will render the SGR, the Kenyan SGR, redundant, and they'll be thrown out of business and ran out of town. It's time to wake up, guys. KPA does not control the Northern Corridor. You've got the Northern Corridor Secretariat, Permanent Secretariat of the Northern Corridor, that sought to streamline the fluidity of movements along that corridor. The membership of that Permanent Secretariat comes from Burundi, comes from DRC, comes from Tanzania, comes from Uganda. What does that tell us? That if their countries decide to move to Dar es Salaam, then there's no effect of the Northern Corridor Permanent Secretariat that's going to change that policy if the representatives from those other countries are already aligned to the policies of their countries moving to the port of Dar es Salaam. My advice to Kenya government and my advice to the port of Mombasa, as much as we spent so much money to build capacity at LAMU port, as much as we have done a lot to build new terminal berths, like for instance, berth number 22, the market that you are targeting is already being taken away. A market that you already controlled for so many years. It's so slowly, strategically, and in a manner that you don't even realize. This is my last warning to those who make decisions that will help KPA build its volumes and continue to control the market share of the East, Central, and the Great Lakes. The East African community has grown bigger. Somalia has come on board. South Sudan has come on board. Ethiopia has come on board. The market is massive. And from Tabora, Dar es Salaam, Tabora, the SGR electric train branches off into several destinations. One of the destinations is going to Bujumbura. The other one is going to Kigali. The other one is going to the DRC. The other one goes to Mwanza, the port of Mwanza. Mwanza is the second largest city after Dar es Salaam and is located at the port at Lake Victoria. The connectivity of the SGR to Mwanza will completely obliterate the Uhuru 2 archaic vessel that is brought from the museums, refurbished, renovated, and put on the waters to compete with the MV Mwanza, which is the most modern vessel in Africa that handles more than 400 tons of cargo, more than 30 to 40 units of vessels. So who's losing out in this competition? They always used to say that both the port of Dar es Salaam and the port of Mombasa, they play complementary roles. Well, maybe those days, competition was never envisaged. But as we stand today, it's not only competition, it's a cutthroat competition for the control of inland destinations, for the control for the transit market, and also for the control of transshipment market. I want to close down this YouTube channel, not only by giving the last warning to all those people who make decisions for the port of Mombasa, that as much as you want to build capacity in both Mombasa and Lamu ports, look at the market that you've been controlling. Any threat to lose this market must be given priority at any cost, so that after we have helped build the capacity in terms of increased terminal berths and increased equipment and another new port at Lamu, then we sustain our control of the market share that we've been having over the the Great Lakes region, which is the biggest market share in Eastern Central Africa. Kindly subscribe to this channel. We need to grow. I know I've seen people have been, viewers have increased, but very few people are now subscribing. Also share this video so that we can get a bigger audience tomorrow and in the future. But it's also important that you make your remarks. I'd like to have challenging remarks that can prod my mind and also try to answer some of the questions that some of you viewers might be seeing. But competition is now no longer a secret. Dar es Salaam is building its capacity. Mombasa Port is building its capacity, but in a different direction. Let's wake up. Let's smell the coffee. Thank you very much. And once more, ladies and gentlemen, this is Off-Dock Services. We do consultancies. We do port services, port operations. We do logistics, supply chains, including warehousing. We have softwares that can help assist most of the logistics supply chains in making their facilities cargo move very fast, and accountability of the cargo that moves through their facilities. Thank you very much. Until next time, this is Off-Dock Services. Thank you, and God bless you.